Greetings viewers from MahaMTB. I am Chandrasekhar Nene. I study international relations and along with me is Mr. Yogesh Kumar, who is the videographer. We are bringing to you information about an impending doom over the entire world. No, it's not about COVID. COVID fortunately is a receding phenomena. All the talk of the third wave and all, they are looking to be just talk. The numbers are reducing everywhere in India, in America, in rest of the parts of the world. Plus more and more vaccinations have taken place. Because of that, the specter of COVID is receding. We might safely assume that we will come out of COVID, maybe in a month, 6 months time we will be coming out of COVID. But something else has happened. No, this is not another pandemic. During the COVID time, all the countries' economy were coming to a grinding halt. And because of that economy coming to a grinding halt, the energy consumption of all the nations had reduced. Energy consumption of China had reduced, of India had reduced, and of course the developed countries were also under severe pressure of COVID, and because of that their industrial cycle was running at a much slower pace. Because of that, the available energy in all those countries was sufficient to supply to the required demand. Now what happened, with the reduction of COVID, suddenly the industrial cycle is kicking off. In China, export orders are there. In India, the cycle is kicking off. In fact, IMF and World Bank and all have said that India's GDP growth rate will touch almost up to 8.9 to 9% because of the industrial cycle starting again. Now, this is good news for the country, but it's bad news for the power sector, because power sector was producing power at X amount, and it was what was required was say 0.8x, 80% of that was required. They were in a comfortable situation, so much comfortable that the various modes of power generation, they had changed their mix also. For example, maximum power in all the countries is still now generated by burning coal. How electrical power is generated? Let me give you a very quick sample of what is required to generate electric power. You have to move turbines, and after moving the turbines in a magnetic field, electricity is generated. That's a common basic principle. Now, how you move the turbine, how you rotate the turbine, you have to give energy to that. There are 2-3 different ways. One very well-known way is that you use a falling water, like you build a huge dam, and from the dam you take the water supply down, and when you take it down in a pipe, you put a turbine blades there. Because of the water pressure, the turbine starts moving. After the turbines move, electricity is generated. That is the hydroelectric power source. That is the least polluting source and the best available source, but there are limitations as to how many dams you can build and how much power you can generate using hydroelectric. The second most important way is to turn the turbine by using heated steam. So, you boil the water, create steam, put that steam into a pipe, and the pipe actually turns the turbine. Now, how you boil the water? There are various ways. The standard way is you use coal, you put a coal furnace, create a boiler and generate steam. That is the standard way. The non-standard ways are you heat the water using nuclear fuel in a nuclear reactor, then it becomes a nuclear powered electricity generation station. Or you can even use wind energy by putting a windmill and rotating the generator turbines using the wind. That is a windmill power. So, these are the various ways of generating power, but coal by far is the most important and most prolifically used medium for generating power. But there is a problem in using coal. When you burn coal, you generate carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur oxide. These are all polluting gases. And with the problem of global warming and with the problem of climatic changes, we are seeing the effects all over. The monsoons are going beyond and there are storms coming everywhere and things like that. All countries had decided to reduce their use of coal. Reduce the use of coal, move to non-coal sources like nuclear, like wind energy, like even the tide energy, and using the hydel energy more and more. Of course, the problem with hydel energy is that you submerge a lot of tracts of land and forest, which is also not good. You displace a lot of people by when you put a dam, and there are various issues. But because of this, the countries had stopped using coal because their production was not required because of COVID, and things were going on well. The prices of coal, or you can even burn natural gas. So, gas power stations are there. So, prices of coal, gas, fuel, fossil fuel have dropped because consumption was not there. Now suddenly the cycle is turning, you need more and more power. So demand started growing. When the demand grew, OPEC, which is the oil producing body, they decided that they have taken a loss all this time. Now they have to recoup the losses. So they will cut the production but increase the prices. What it means that the gas prices and the diesel and petroleum products prices started going up. So when it started going up, it became unbearable for the power stations which were using this oil and gas which were using it. Coal also fared the same situation. Now in coal also there are various types and grades of coal. Australian coal, or in Australia there is a place called Newcastle. Yes, I know Newcastle is there in England also, but since Australia is a colony of England, it also named its own coal mines Newcastle. But the Newcastle coal is by far the best quality coal. It has the highest carbon content, so it can give the largest bang for the buck, so to speak, using this Newcastle coal. That is the standard of coal for power generation. That Newcastle coal price has become 2.5 times. Between March of this year and September of this year, the price has raised 2.5 times. Second best coal is in Indonesia. Indonesian coal also, the price has gone to 3.5 times. From $60 a ton, the price has gone to $200 a ton. Now, when this happens, the power generating stations, specifically in India, when they import coal and generate power, they have calculated that the coal is at X cost, so the power they will be sell at Y cost. Now, the selling cost of power is not entirely in the hands of the power station, because it's a sensitive social issue. You can't raise the prices of electricity because suddenly people will get out of hand and people will start crying and creating demonstrations and things like that. So there is a government pressure to put the price down. Now the companies which were making in India using gas based, they actually realized that importing gas and creating power and selling it at this price is not economical at all. They shut down. So they are not importing gas. The coal based power station, they also reduced their operation because it was not possible to import at that high rate. This, along with the rise in demand, has created a situation that our Minister for Power, Mr. R.K. Singh, has actually said it in a press conference 2 days back, that many of these power stations are in the danger now because their stocks they hold are worth only up to 4 days of supply to generate at full capacity. The government guideline for power station, coal-fired power station, which are 60% of total power generated in India. So the government guideline is they should have 14 days stock with them, so that the rest of the stock has time to come from transport links to the power station. But it seems that out of the total power station, 165 power stations have critical supply of coal now. Some of them have 0 days power stock, some of coal stock, some of them have 4 days coal stock, some of them are at 8 days coal stock. This is a dangerous situation because if coal is not provided to them within those many days, they will shut down. They will shut down means electricity generation will stop, which means there will be load shedding. Nobody likes load shedding. We always thought that load shedding is a thing of the past, is not going to come now. In China actually, load shedding is there to stay now. You might have seen videos on TV channel, news channels, that people are eating their food in the light of the mobile cell lamp. So things are really bad there. Their production has increased. There is no coal them. For them, there is another interesting thing happened. They started quarreling with Australia because Australia has joined the AUKUS camp and they are against China. So they said that we will not buy Australian coal. A lot of Australian coal is lying at the ports in China. It's not being cleared. A very wise Indian trader actually has gone ahead and bought that coal at a discount. About 2 million tons of coal is picked up by this trader, and that those ships are now diverted to India. That coal is coming to us. We are also in talks with Indonesia to buy their coal, but the cost is high. So the government has to do something for this. What the government has done, they already have had a meeting of the respected ministry together. It's an interministerial meeting with the Coal India people representing, the Central Electricity Authority representing, the railways representing, and they are all sitting together as to how best to make sure coal is transported quickly from the ports, from the mines to the power stations. This time the monsoon has extended beyond September, so many of the coal mines are actually in water. lot of power. You remember seeing news about the eastern India under floods and all. So this has actually created difficulties for mining that coal. So the coal mining is slow, the transport of coal is slow because of the trains were not running on time and all. Now all that is being pushed at an emergency pace, and we hope that this coal shortage will soon be averted, A, by getting the coal more from our mines, B, by getting coal more from our ports, C, by incentivizing the power stations which were gas based, which couldn't use the gas because gas was very expensive. By incentivizing them to start the power station, we will give you some subsidies but generate electricity. I am sure all this thing will take place in due time, but I want to warn our viewers that there could be bit tough days ahead. China is in bad situation, India is not that bad, but it may turn to that situation. So we must be aware and we must be seeing what is happening. I will keep doing more and more videos on this subject as we go along. If you like this video, please share it with your friends and relatives. Please subscribe to our channel. Please press the bell icon so that our new videos can be intimated to you very quickly. Thanks for watching the video.